Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm trying desperately to unmute my mic, but that took a whole 30 seconds because apparently my Yeti is awful. How's it going, guys? I figured I would go ahead and start the chat with a cursed image. Why not? But hopefully you guys are having a good time so far. It is Monday. Normally today we go over something like biblical gender roles or a video or something egregious, but this time it's going to be just a heart-to-heart chat. But I figured that I wanted to go ahead and begin with something like that for fun. Because why not? I may lop that part off at the end of the video and just, like, whenever I'm done, just go into the video itself and just cut that portion out. Because I'm fairly certain Sneaky Weasel's copyrighted. It might not be. I don't know. That said, could be worse considering other GIF options. Yeah, no, considering what you have done, Kitty, yeah, no, there are worse options. There are. But I see we've got Orla, Zira, see we've got Larry and Dragworker, and a lot of other people in the chat who I recognize. So how are you guys doing today? It is Monday, which means that everybody hates their life right now. Nobody likes Mondays. Like, I set myself up to have Saturday and Sunday off, so, like, I hate Mondays too. It's the beginning of my work week. Please, anything but Game of Thrones. I've had enough people whining about the last episode. I am not going to be talking about Game of Thrones, don't worry. You always assume shit's going to get real when Cirrus cracks his neck. But first thing I want to do is start with a question. Who here from the audience was here last Friday for the debate between Nathaniel Walters and Epichrist on my channel? If you were, go ahead and press H. If you weren't, go ahead and press J. Because I figure that might actually be a good opener for the topic I want to talk about here. I. Well, that's an I. Ah! The chat is very H and J. Oh, Jeebus. Too many. I'm having to actually unfilter some of these. Oh, boy. Odyssey says, I've been watching your videos since you collabed with Logic and I've yet to catch a stream. Now I'm here. Awesome. Also, apologies to everybody. I'm about to have to sneeze. Probably in, like, now-ish? You guys ever have a sneeze where it just doesn't actually go through? And it just burns? Anywho, that all said. So for those... Yeah. Prophet Assad says, I forgive you. I wouldn't forgive me. I would. Atheist Rochelle says, Hugo and Jake. No, not the Hugo and Jake debate. I can never not be stuffy. I need to just constantly be taking allergy meds. But no, not the Hugo and Jake debate. The Hugo and Jake debate with Jesse Lee Peterson was a meme. Like, that's about all it was. Was just a full-on meme. No, what I'm talking about is this Friday, Nathaniel Walters and Epichrist had a debate on my channel regarding the resurrection of Christ. And I can say there's two types of debates that happen. There's debates like what happened between Matt Dillahunty and Mike Winger, where both of them walked in, and they both can feasibly be considered intellectual powerhouses for their respective sides, even if I disagree with practically everything Mike Winger says. And I think his agenda literally hurts the LGBTQ community, but, you know, that's besides the point. There's debates like that on the resurrection that are sourced, and they come with facts, and they go at each other. And then there's what happened with Nathaniel and Epichrist. When Nathaniel and Epichrist did their thing, it was the debate right near the end where the doll appeared. Yes, and the doll appeared... Recent vision is not going to matter if I blow my nose. It's not going to matter. Oh boy. Looks like you just got put into timeout. Sorry, deleted user. Your whole why did you say you think... Wait, hold on. Who said that? I don't think anybody actually said that, and if they did... Oh. You really... We could just put you in timeout again. That's fine. You know what? Even better. We're getting raided, guys. Which is just wonderful. Here, you know what? Nah, I have no need for people who try to raid. Yeah, we're gonna... And you... And you... Da, 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 da. You know what, let's go ahead and just... While I'm fixing this, this is about how this feels. Just as we delete these. All of them. There we go. Are we done? Are we done with that? Have any more? I think that's all of them. I think that's all of the deleted users. There we go. Much better. Okay, now that that's taken care of. Alright, now that that's done. Just... Whew! That was fun. I do... Well, you know what? There are a few people who I do... Ah! Aha! There you are. Buddy. We're just gonna... Goodbye. Just for this Bravo says, just play that music all the time, but a little lower. Oh boy. How many of these accounts are there? I have an idea. We're gonna make this easy. Sean, you just got... Boom! Sean just became a mod. Gainer, I trust you as well. Obviously, I trust Zod. I've been in his hotel room. I trust Zod. I think that should be you as well. Here you guys go. You've all been promoted to happy fun times. Puffalopica says, did allergies get a hold of you today? Absolutely, they did. Now I won't do it because you have mods. Boring. Lol. I mean, let's be honest. I'm just fine going... Boom. Sorry. I mean, you're... I can have fun playing whack-a-mole with your account, and that's cool. But, like, that's not the topic. If I wanted to play whack-a-mole, I'll hold a stream called Cirrus Plays Whack-a-Mole with Chat Trolls. By all means. At some point, I might do that. Boom. Just every single time. Every single time. Trickster says, these guys seem to have a slight problem with you if you see my name saying crap like that. No, it ain't me. I would hope not. I would hope not. That'd be really awkward to just have like have a patron of my channel just be like, I hate you and everything you stand for. I mean, it would not be the first time I've had that happen, but when that happened, the person deleted their Patreon pledge right afterwards, so it's like, nah. Rochi says that sounds like quality content. Yeah, no, me just playing whack-a-mole with the chat would probably be fun. How many accounts? I think I banned 10. 10 or 11, something like that. I had enough. I had enough accounts. Enough for me to have to do this repeatedly, over and over and over again. Oh boy. It's just fun. What religious group did I trigger this time? I have no idea. I have no idea. Probably NIFB. Let's be honest, I've been focusing on them a lot recently. But Prophesad says almost every YouTuber was in your hotel room. It's fine. Or Matthew says, just ignore the chat. I could, but like this is one of those ones where like there is a topic, but at the same time, it's not so much of a fleshed out topic that I can't interact with the chat, and this is primarily going to be a chat interaction stream. But that's fine. Boom. Where's Plushy Cirrus? I can get you Plushy Cirrus. Hold on. That's easy. Come here, Plush Cirrus. Come here. Ah! Here he is. So for any of you who have seen Sloth Girl Slowly on Twitter, she is the one who made this one for me. There is a hammer for it as well. However, the hammer needs to be repaired because there's a pommel on the back of it that keeps on trying to come off, and I need to super glue it again. But, yeah. Maybe this is where's Furry Cirrus? In my fan art section, believe me, there's a few of them. No, it has a hammer. I just don't have the hammer on me right now. Ah, Plushy Cirrus, go away. Plushy Cirrus has escaped the building. Anywho. So. I wonder how many of these are having to get hit. Like, let's be honest. You know what? Drag. You just got a blue name. So that you can play whack-a-mole. Blue names get to play whack-a-mole. Boom. It's actually really nice seeing X has been hidden by Cirrus, X has been hidden by Gainer. Man, chat whack-a-mole is interesting today. Yeah, I probably might end up having to do slow mode at some point. I really don't want to, though. I can't stand slow mode. Instead, I'll just let you guys play whack-a-mole. Yeah. You guys end up playing whack-a-mole. It's going to be fun. I'll be honest, this is actually entertaining to watch. I shouldn't be entertained. But I am quite entertained. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Well, yeah. Give me just a moment. There we go. I found a way for you guys to not have to hear all of my sniffles. It's called copious use of the mute button. Anywho. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that as well. Boom. Now we've got many mod. Many mod. Oh, it's like pure ostensions. It's like watching an ACA stream too soon. Whoo! Yeah, no. The ACA thing actually is probably going to be something that I do a video about tomorrow. That's not something I'm going to be talking about live. It's something I want to put my thoughts together for and actually have a produced video for you guys on, because I think that is an important topic. But yeah, no, it's weird. You still have static in for the fan. We know what happens. Oh boy. Everybody keeps on doing things. Whack-a-troll. So, anywho, on to the topic at hand, since we are getting raided, which is hilarious. So I'm just going to be having this conversation while the rain is coming down, so to speak. Also, I did just get a message. Why did I just get a message? Who was messaging me? Why are you doing this? Oh, boy. So, basically, what I'm thinking about doing on my channel is having more debates. Not just debates where I host. I don't want to have a lot of those because I don't want my channel to become a debate channel. But I do want... You okay? Hi. You're cute. Yeah, you are. Raz is cute, just so everybody knows in the chat.
It looks like you were looking at the camera when you said that, so you just called all of your audience cute.
No, I was looking at you. Oh. Fair enough. Oh, boy.
Cute. It's fine.
Alright. So, I want to have more debates on my channel, not just... Mainly because there are some things that I believe in, and I think that I can handle those things in a debate. And I know that there's some people who are like really vehemently against some of the things that I say. Like I've got some people who are like nightmarishly against polyamory, think that it's the absolute most immoral thing. Usually most of those people are also Christian, which is weird because at that point I can point to Abraham and be like, hey, how many did he shag? But anyway, that's fine. So I want to have some debates on topics that are close to home. So that, pro-LGBT issues, because I'm going to be a... Oh, boy. This message is held for review. I see somebody has appropriated me. That's funny.
Somebody appropriated Cirrus's name.
Yep. And image
Where?
and everything.
Oh,
Orochi says, how is love morally repugnant? I asked the same thing, and the answer that I got was sexual deviancy, basically. I don't know. It's a weird... It is a weird conversation to have. But it is one that I want to have, and I think that there are some topics that are better had as a straight up topic where I talk to the camera or I have my avatar going and I'm going through a topic and I'm hammering out each issue one by one. And then there are some things that I think it's more important to have a live debate for, where I can sit there and go, okay, no, I'm standing my ground on this, and I'm going to actively go against you on this. Not to mention, by having debates on my channel, I'll actually be able to refine my ability to debate, because I'm not the best interlocutor. I have been told that I'm decent at debate for the few debates that I've been on, but I don't think that I'm great. So, hopefully.
Oh my god.
Nathaniel Walter says, so you're saying Epichrist isn't prepared like Mike Winger? Crazy thought there. Yeah, no, for all his faults, Mike Winger at least tries to be prepared, even if the sources that he used don't actually say the things he says they do, which is what happened with his secular case for against homosexuality video. Commander Reed Helsing says, Cyrus is Prophet Azad. Any advice for explaining to a Christian who found Jesus in the eye of a needle that his God delusion is no more real in the sense of being bulletproof when high? Not really, because honestly, it matters less that the person is religious, and it matters more what the entailments of that are. If somebody's a Christian and they are able to mind their own business and they're not talking about somebody else's sexuality and they're just generally a good person, I don't rightly care. I have no reason to make people think like me. I have no reason to make people have the same religious beliefs as me. I don't personally care, even though I find it to be logically inconsistent. I have no need to turn somebody else into an atheist. If they happen to be one by the end of a conversation with me, then, yay, awesome, but that's not something that I care to do. For me, I would rather have a lot of really well-educated Christians than a lot of people who have the same education they had before, but are just now atheists, because I've seen some morally repugnant stuff said in there, especially when I've said that people need to stop calling religion, whatchamacallit, people need to stop calling it a mental illness. I've had some people vehemently defend that no, it must be, and literally my answer is just shove your face in the DSM-5. So, that all said, Beast, she says, the debate with Epichrist made me want to die. Zippo Boy Shane Shark says, I would debate you, but I think we agree on most topics. That's kind of the other thing that's just like, it's hard for me to debate some of the people in my audience because a lot of us agree on stuff. I know that it's hardly enough of a source for anything, but I did do a political poll, and a lot of my viewers seem to be in the same, like, kind of leftish libertarian area that I'm in. So, that's funny. That all said, more of a McRae... So it was more of a McRae-Duke debate. It was kind of that. It was kind of that. The debate between Epichrist and Nathaniel was... It was worse than that, though, because what happened is Epichrist began with their opener, and their opener basically amounted to them saying, Gary Habermas, 5 minimal facts, I could use 12. Okay, I cede the rest of my time. And then Nathaniel said, could you please clarify your position? I yield the rest of my opening time to you so that you can clarify your position. And of course the dude then said, what needs clarification there? Everything needed clarification. You didn't give enough information for anybody to do practically anything. Also, there is only one fake Cirrus allowed, and he's made of plush, and he's right over here. That said, actually, do I have... I think I do. Let me check the fan art folder, because there's always something safe for work in the fan art folder. No, I have an idea. Because we seem to have an NPC Cirrus, as it were, I'm just going to go ahead and channel Wombologist for a moment here. And just, oh boy, I'm not supposed to move the hammers. I'm going to channel Wombologist. And just, here we go. Alright, the rest of the chat, the rest of the channel is always just going to have this NPC service here. That's it. That's all it's going to be. All of it. Like, that's where we are now. That's where we are. Don't insult Plushy Cirrus. Plushy Cirrus is much more real than Troll Cirrus. Plushy Cirrus can also ride on a Glaceon. Neil Stone says, I have a question. What is your opinion on the Kitzmiller versus Dover? A religious person I was talking to said it was unconstitutional because it prohibits religious freedom. So, okay. We're going to do a thing here. We are going to go Kitzmiller versus Dover. Because I know that it's the thing on intelligent design. But the Kitzmiller versus Dover area school district debacle, as it were. It was a direct challenge brought to the United States courts testing a public school district policy that required the teaching of intelligent design. So, okay, so Neil, your coworker that thinks that it was against religious freedom doesn't understand separation of church and state, because religious freedom is not just freedom for religion to do whatever the hell it wants. The religious freedom is also freedom for people who are not religious to be free from that religion. So we're going to go ahead and turn off NPC service for a second here. So basically, if you want your religious freedom to be whatever religion you want and to do whatever you want under religious jurisdiction, that's fine, but you must also accept that on the opposite end of that, someone who's not religious or does not share your religion is not forced to deal with it. And you cannot force them. When you take something that is in the public square, like school districts, and you try to force intelligent design into the school district, which has been tried many fucking times, whenever you do that, what you get is a violation of the latter principle, or this principle over here. My ability to be free from your religion. When you violate that, then we start questioning this. If you want to keep this, your freedom of your religion, then you have to keep this other thing too. My ability to not be religious. My ability to not be taught your religion. My ability to tell your religion to fuck right off. So if he wants this over here to be violated, then you might want to let your friend know that this thing over here, his own personal religious freedom, may as well go right out the window. Because it's a two-way street. And if you don't have it as a two-way street, then that street can just be blown up. I'm sorry. Just watch Aaron's videos, you'll drop your IT theory. Yeah, that can help. Oh boy. Annoying dumb bots. ID isn't a theory. Yeah, no, intelligent design is not a theory at all. Damien says, Cirrus, what's the topic? I'll probably leave because of the troll unless I'm interested. Well, this one's kind of a loose topic. It's mainly just me wanting to do debates on my channel for a future, and then just having a conversation over like how the channel's operating so far. With people, because I also want to know what stuff you guys would like to see me debate, if possible. That'd be a thing that I would not mind doing. But Drag says I'm about to drive, so I can't fully moderate soon. That's fine. And of course Nathaniel knows all about Kitzmiller versus Dover. Neil Stone says he pointed to the part of the Constitution that says the government can't promote or prohibit religion. Correct. The government can't promote or prohibit religion. You're right. But if the government is in control of taxes, and taxes are going to the school districts that allow for intelligent design, then that is the government promoting religion. For them to not promote or prohibit religion, it has to be completely separate. For it to be anything else, they will be either promoting or prohibiting.
I found the dude's channel and I reported him.
So... Neil, your friend is engaging in some pretty hard special pleading there. Like, really hard special pleading. Zippoboy Time Shark says, free will, moral nihilism, the war on drugs, or time travel. Time travel would be a fun one, but I already know whose bone I have to pick with time travel first, and that's Nathaniel. Peyton Norman says, "Sir, it's off topic, but thoughts on the ACA's comments on rationality rules." That's tomorrow's video. If you guys want my thoughts on the rationality rules situation, then just sit tight and wait for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is going to be on that topic. So, just so you guys know.
Bad government, go to your room and think about it. Think about what you did.
Nilsson says, "I understand this. He doesn't." Fair. I'm just saying that if there's an avenue for conversation, letting him know that it's a two-way street is probably one of the best things that you can do. Boy, there's also I hate the fact that one of the books that is presented as an alternative theory to evolution, as if there are alternatives anymore at this point, is called Of Pandas and People, which is literally an ID textbook. Like, that's just bad. Damien says, "I'll be gone by the time you read this, but how about the conflict of free will versus following God's plan?" Yeah, no, that one's fairly easy. I would not mind debating that on my channel with somebody. But it seems to me that having an omniscient being literally means that free will doesn't exist, and there's not a way around that. If somebody wants to subscribe to either A or B theory of time, neither of those have been sufficiently demonstrated, from what I understand. So we still have to kind of work under the principle of just the one timeline we've got, and if you've got the one omniscient being, God or not, literally means nobody has free will. Oh boy, I feel like the parent with all the... Gainer says, "I feel like a parent with all the timeouts I have to do." Yeah. Nathaniel says they literally removed the word creationist, but missed a few. Yeah, no, I think with Kitzmiller versus Dover, wasn't the biggest sticking point that creationism had already been taken out of the school system, and they found that intelligent design was just creationism, but under like some different fruity language. Like, isn't that basically what it amounted to? Zach says, an off-topic one, what about Autism Speaks versus the rest of the autism community? I'd be willing to debate that one myself. That one I'm not going to do as a debate. The Autism Speaks episode is probably going to be closer to a Dangers of Woo episode. Because I have a bone to pick with that organization. So more than likely, when I do get around to Autism Speaks, it's going to be Dangers of Woo. Because, yeah, no. Autism Speaks, and there was another one that's like... What's up? Autism 1. Yeah, Autism 1 is the one that's basically an anti-vax movement, hidden behind a pro-autism movement.
Anti-vax, pro-fecal matter transplant, pro, pushing autistic people to be, like everybody else.
Yeah. Neil says, my progressive Christian friend, not the one before, says that God can see every possible outcome to compensate for the argument from free will. That doesn't matter. Seeing every possible outcome does not matter. If God knows that you're going to jump, there's only one possible outcome, period, in omniscience. Because if God sees that you're going to jump at 10:01 p.m. on Tuesday morning, when 10:01 p.m., or not p.m. and Tuesday morning, this is Tuesday, just Tuesday. If God says, God knows that you're going to jump at 10:01 on Tuesday morning, what are you going to do on Tuesday morning? And there's no wiggling like, oh, you might do this, you might do this. No, fucker! You're going to jump. If an omniscient being knows you're going to jump, that means you're going to jump. You either lose the omniscient part, or you continue on, and he knows. Like, he knows, period. This little wiggle room thing that people try to do where God can compensate for everything, then that means that there's a potential for surprising God. If they know everything, then there's only one course of action you have. Period. That's it. Otherwise, you can surprise God. The mere fact that somebody knows all possible futures doesn't mean the one you choose isn't surprising. Now, granted, none of this matters to me because I don't believe in free will. So, it doesn't really do much for me anyway. Unlucky Pox says, what about veganism? I will leave that one to Cosmic Skeptic to debate or to deal with on his end, because given that I'm not a vegan, There's two things that I would always point to. One, there was a debate that Inane Dragon had on Heathen Hour. And Inane Dragon is someone who actually cannot survive off of plant protein. They cannot. It is impossible for them to. So he ended up arguing against it. And the other person just got their ass stomped because they said, well, what about this? What about this? And he's like, I've tried all of that. Stop it. You're trying to kill me. So there's that. The other thing I'd point to is that Cosmic Skeptic literally is going through trying to be vegetarian and vegan on his end right now. He would probably be a better one to debate that than me because he's doing a lot more of the research than I am. Nielsen says her argument is that there's a timeline in which I'm a Christian and she's an atheist. If there's a... So, first of all, this is somebody who's arguing for multiple timelines, something that we have not been able to determine is true. They're literally arguing from fiction. Like, at this point, they're not arguing from the Bible anymore. They're not arguing from anything. They're arguing from raw fiction. If they require fiction in order to make their point, then I think their point can be quite easily dismissed. So, that's just my case here. Sorry, if somebody has to say in a different timeline this and a different timeline this, until we've established that that's a thing, you're literally arguing from fiction. And if your argument requires fiction to function, then it doesn't function. But Alon says, under open theism, Elohim can be surprised. Open theism doesn't function, though. Open theism thinks it functions, but there was a debate on Modern Day Debate between Ocean Keltoy and an open theist preacher, street preacher. And I think he did a really good job of showing why open theism doesn't work at all. But, anywho, Jocelyn says Epichrist is still whining in the comments of that debate video. Of course he is. Of course he is. For those of you who did not see, which of course you couldn't because it was after the show, I yelled at Epichrist a lot. I'm not terribly proud that I yelled at Epichrist, but I did yell at them a lot after the video because when I got to the point where I said, okay, look, I kept my mouth shut. And now that I'm not the moderator, I don't have to keep my mouth shut. And now that I don't have to keep my mouth shut, we're going to talk. We're going to have a conversation. Where I finally just went, look, do you think that the resurrection is a historical event? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's put that in a bucket. That's right over here. Now, is the minimal facts argument the way that you get to that belief? Yes. Okay, cool. That's in a bucket over here. I got 2 buckets. 3. Is the minimal facts argument a historical method of determining historicity? I recognize that sounds redundant, but it's not. Oh, well, I guess. I don't know. Okay, no. The answer is actually no. There's not a history major who's going to say, well, I don't know about this Alexander the Great guy. Let's use the minimal facts approach on Alexander the Great. No, that's not a thing that happens in that field. So we have in this bucket, history or historicity of an event is not determined by minimal facts. This is not a method we use in this field. Cool. This bucket cannot exist with these 2 buckets. This bucket means these buckets have to be dumped out. Because if you think minimal facts explains the resurrection, and it is the reason you got to it, and you think it's a historical event, but when you look at this bucket, you realize that, oh, this bucket's bleach. Those buckets have dye. When I pour this bucket into those, the dye goes away. These buckets now all look like the bleach. Because this bucket literally says these 2 buckets can't exist. I finally got to the point where I was snapping and yelling and just going, look, do you not understand how this works? And he goes, no, it's let me explain. Like, no, you got your chance to explain and you failed at it for an hour. I was the one who was quiet. I'm going to have my talk now. At that point, I went, okay, look, there's apologetics, which has an a priori that must be defended. And so you work from the a priori out. And then you've got something like science, which doesn't have an a priori. It can. Usually it does not. It goes where the evidence leads, wherever that happens to be. It works to a conclusion. It does not have an a priori conclusion it has to work itself back to every time. This is the difference between an honest approach and a dishonest approach. Apologetics, I'm sorry. I have friends who are apologists. I'm going to say it now. Apologetics is the dishonest approach. And this is the approach with anything. If you are a fan of Nintendo and you feel the need to defend Nintendo because it's Nintendo and because you're a fan, then you're taking the wrong approach. Defend the I'm saying the company because this applies to all things. Defend the company based on its merits. If it does not have merits, stop defending the company. Don't defend the company because you like it, and then try to find the merits that justify you liking the company. 9 times out of 10, you'll find that the merits you're looking for are not the reasons you started liking the company. They're things that you found after the fact. This is the same thing with apologetics. So, I also see Epicurus in the chat. I tried to explain to you what minimum facts is. We have never claimed that it's a historical method. Historians practice coherence theory. Okay. Which means, as I said before, that you cannot have historicity determined by him. If historicity is not determined by the minimal facts, then the minimal facts argument does not need to apply to any situation. I'm sorry. It fails. It fails 9 times from Sunday, and to accept... we'll go ahead and... I'm going to do an argument ad populum. It's going to be a fallacy, but it's going to be fun, okay? We're going to have fun. You have 2 choices, G or H. If you can use a historical method to come to a historical conclusion, a conclusion that is in fact historical, but you can use an ahistorical method for it. If you think that is a reasonable approach, press G. If you think that using the minimum facts approach is not a reasonable approach to determining historicity, press H. And if you think that using, like this also comes into if you think that it makes sense to use these in that way. Go ahead. But you don't, Epichrist, you don't. You're special pleading because the conversation, when you're talking about minimum facts is a special pleading case because it works differently for this one event. We determine historicity via these methods until we get to the resurrection, apparently. Except that's not how we do this. I'm sorry. I have friends who are Christians. I love people who are Christians. However, if you're dishonestly coming to your beliefs, then Clifford's principle applies. Deal with it. It sucks, but deal with it. Down About Full says, I found it unlikely that the Jerusalem zombie apocalypse happened. Oh, boy. Neil Stone says, I understand it's hard to argue because she's one of the few Christians I've met who isn't homophobic, and I'm afraid to drive her away. I would be honest, if your friend who is a Christian does not have any beliefs that are linked to them being a Christian that are detrimental to your friendship or those around her, then there's no reason to try to change their mind. There really isn't. Personally. At the end of the day, if somebody is a religion, but they are not harming you, they are not causing any harm, and they are not advocating for their religion to be forced on others, then it's fine. It doesn't matter. Your freedom for religion and my freedom from your religion can work equidistantly from one another at this point. Minimum facts is not how you do history, though. I can get someone who actually has degrees in historical study to lay out every reason why you're wrong. I could, if you want. Also, coherence theory seems to be more of an epistemology thing. But, you know, that's fine. That is fine. In fact, actually, I do have a degreed historian on call. I can fix this right now. Let me see here. Do 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 do. Sending a message out to my friend who actually is a historian. Because anytime somebody tries to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I don't have an expert on hand on something, I can actually usually pull one. It's not hard. I make friends. Puffalopicus, it is in fact RJ, yes! It is in fact RJ. Yes.
Historical method is epistemology. Epicurus just said historical. Like, historical method is epistemology.
No. Epistemology is personal theory of truth. That has nothing to do... epistemology is not methodology, okay? Personal theory of truth is not methodology. For historicity, we would develop a methodology. These things are categorically separate. To argue against that is a category error. If you want to commit category error, then I'm going to ask you the same thing that I did after the debate. Are you engaging in cognitive dissonance? And if you disagree with me, then you're a liar. And now I can ignore everything that you've said. Not that I haven't already been doing that. Let me see. Has he responded yet? No. This is usually around the time that RJ gets up. But I'm uncertain if he'll actually be able to hop on. But yeah, no. I'll go ahead and do that as a follow-up. I'll do a minimum facts video with RJ at some point. That's a thing that I'm going to have to do. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. So. Oh, boy. Beast Free says, Cyrus, Aaron, and Raziel, do you guys read? If at all, what are your favorite genres? It's hard for me to say what my favorite... I don't really have a favorite genre. I bounce between a lot of different ones. I usually look for a certain type of story, not necessarily a genre. For instance, I'll go through like the whole Star Wars series or the whole Warcraft series. And every single one of those books falls into a very different genre and category. Or I'll go through the entire Dragon Riders of Pern series, which again, even though that's technically sci-fi, every book has a different genre story that it goes through. So, CC Sleeper says, man, imagine waking up and your friend asks you, would you be interested in talking to Epichrist? Zippo says, when do you have time to read? I actually read via audiobooks, which makes it a lot easier to read than you'd think. Like, mainly because I can put on an audiobook and I can have it playing in the car while I'm driving somewhere to get groceries, or just like in my headphones while I'm getting groceries. Or if we've got a long trip, I can do that. Or if I'm editing a video, I can usually have a video, or I can have something in the background playing. So, and I've got a few books I need to go through still that are apologetics literature, actually, that I need to go through. I need to finish reading Hugh Ross at some point. He's just really boring. He's really boring. Epichrist says, this is hurting my brain. You're right, Epichrist. A lot of this is hurting my brain. You don't even know what ad hoc is. Don't even. You tried explaining to me that ad hoc is an assumption, but assumption isn't part of any of the definitions of ad hoc. Don't even. Don't even. You're hilarious. Your attempts are hilarious, but you're the same person who, when I debunked the Shroud of Turin, which I didn't debunk it, I literally just used research that was available to everybody who breathes. When I went through the Shroud of Turin and did my debunking of it, you sent me, I asked you for peer-reviewed stuff, and you sent me notepad documents written by you in an email. Come on, Epi. Come on. I don't care. You're really, really bad at this. But it's fine. It's fine. If you want to continue being bad at this debate, at this thing, then you can continue special pleading, which is literally all you're doing. Every single thing. But, that said, RJ has not responded yet, which is sad because I would really like to just be able to pull a historian into this. But, well, Trickster says the Shroud isn't real. So the Shroud is real in that, yes, a physical shroud called the Shroud of Turin exists. Less ad hoc means when you exaggerate your hypothesis. Ad hoc doesn't have anything to do with exaggerating a hypothesis either. Exaggeration and assumption are not part of ad hoc. Dude, do you understand what ad hoc is? Ad hoc literally means for the purpose of. For the purpose of a thing. It means that this thing only works for the purpose of this. Minimal facts is an ad hoc argument for the resurrection of Jesus because the minimal facts argument only works for the purpose of that. It doesn't work for anything else. That is an ad hoc. You're calling everything an ad hoc except the thing that is an ad hoc. How hard is this to understand? Logical fallacies are easy. These are easy things. They're not hard. Mainly because Google exists. No. It hurts. It hurts my brain to know that I have to deal with... Well, I don't have to deal with this. I don't really have to, per se. I can manage around. I can manage. It's just problems. Yes, Epichrist. I understand what you're saying. I'll use your words and show you why they don't say what you think they say. You have said that an ad hoc is an exaggeration. 1, bucket. You've said that an ad hoc is an assumption. 2, bucket. Okay. 3. In science and philosophy, an ad hoc hypothesis is a hypothesis added to a theory to save it from being falsified. 3. Okay, cool. Now, here's what that 3 says. It says that it is an argument that is used for the purpose of saving a theory in order to be falsified. So, theory, or we'll call it a hypothesis because it's these are loosey-goosey terms now. Theory: Jesus resurrected. Okay. Everything in science says that this doesn't work. Ad hoc comes in, minimal facts argument. Ad hoc comes in to save this hypothesis from being falsified. The ad hoc comes down because the ad hoc is used for the purpose of this to save this resurrection theory. You know what? I'll do you one better. We're going to make this super easy. We're going to make this really easy. You know what? So, is it... I know the Vosh does this, and I'm not, trying to copy Vosh here, but I think that this might need to be explained in a way that's better. Because literally, by you saying what you did, you've proven exactly what I needed to say. So, we're just going to... Boom. We have paint. We have paint up. Cool. We have paint. Cool. Paint is here. We're just gonna throw this back here. Oh wow, no, let's throw it more back here. There we go. Paint is here. Paint is right here, everybody. Paint is here to help us. Paint is here to solve all of our problems. So, we have resurrection. So this is called Jesus Rose. It's a lot like Rosebud, but less prolific. Jesus Rose. This is our argument right here. Jesus Rose. We know that people do not come back from the dead, so science says no. That's over here. So what we have is a situation where science says that no, you can't actually do this. Science is going to try to come here to falsify this claim. The ad hoc, which is the minimal facts argument, here, the ad hoc, which is used only for this, for the purpose of this, is literally what it means. The ad hoc comes down and intercepts in order to save the hypothesis. Your words that you gave to us explain this very simply. This is not difficult for everyone except you. Epichrist, please do me a favor. How do we know it's impossible for people to rise? Because we have tested this. This word right here, this one right here that I'm circling over and over again, this word. And if it seems like I'm being obnoxious, I'm doing this for a reason. This word right here, this word science, this word that I'm circling. This is the thing that has tested the claim, can people rise from the dead, and has found it to be thoroughly falsified. Like, how is this a difficult thing to understand? How? And we're not talking about resuscitation. Resuscitation is different. Resuscitation is not a thing you can do after 3 whole days. This is not a coma. A coma is something different as well. Is diagram too complex? Is diagram complex? This is not complex diagram. This is not a complex diagram. This is a very simple, very easy to understand. Epichrist, science has determined very soundly that ice, in fact, you're assuming ignorance on topic. Here's the thing. We don't have ignorance on topic. Epichrist says, so if a Native American never seen ice and suddenly seen ice, does that mean it's impossible for water to turn to ice? Your arguments would be debunked by philosophy. Philosophy doesn't debunk shit, okay? Look, listen. Philosophy can give you the tools to debunk shit, but philosophy in and of itself does not debunk things. If this was the case, people would not have been having the morality argument for over 2,000 years. So, also, philosophy determines whether or not something's logically consistent, but logical consistency and truth are sometimes not the same thing. If they were, the fallacy wouldn't exist. So again, no. And I'm not telling you that observers determine the laws of... Actually, before I step into that trap, because that is a trap, laws of nature are descriptive. Are you talking about the fundamental axioms, or are you talking about the things that we have determined? Because the things we've determined are what we call the laws of nature colloquially. However, I assume you're talking about the axioms. I assume you're talking about the things that are the underlying principles of nature. If so, stop using fucking sloppy language. Please. It's not difficult. It's not hard. This is a very simple concept. You just seem to not be able to get it. Observers do in fact determine the laws of nature because laws are descriptive. They describe a phenomenon which we observe. I'm assuming you're talking about the axiomatic underlying principles that we have in fact observed. Which one is it? Or did I use 2 large words? I didn't even grammar correctly there. And we will wait for that. We will be patient. We will be incredibly patient. We will be paint-shant. Because why not pun? Why not have fun with it? This is a very, very easy concept. And yet apparently I seem to be having to argue it with a brick wall. And this is the thing. This is kind of one of the reasons I want to do debates. Because this stuff, it gets under my skin. And it shouldn't be hard. Shell Maxfield says, your pun has called me a facepalm. Good. That is what puns do. If puns do not have at least a little bit of pain, are they really puns? Epichrist says, you said observers determine the laws of nature. If this is the case, this is impossible for Native Americans. Oh my god!
Okay.
Oh my god. Listen here. I made this very... Hold on. I made this very clear. The laws of nature, as we colloquially understand them, are in fact written by people because they describe phenomenon that we observe. The observable phenomenon, and the possible observable phenomenon, I imagine is what you're talking about. Do not strawman me, you dumb shite. Listen. The observable phenomenon is what we would call in philosophy an axiom. This is a thing that exists regardless of the interlocutor, regardless of the person, regardless of anything. If you're talking about the axiom, then they are not determined by people. But if you're talking about the law, that is a descriptive thing that we do in fact determine. We observe these things and we write them. When something says, this is not hard for anybody but you. Holy shit.
Can I explain cellular decay and decomp cycles?
You know what? Why not? Why not? So, here's the thing. Person dies. The claim we're dealing with is that person died and comes back 3 days later. That's the claim over here. Yeah? That's this claim right here. This one, I'm saying it over and over again because it seems to be very difficult to understand. This claim. Cool. Let's get a forensic scientist in on this one. Fine, let's do it. Why not?
So, we're going to start with one. Jesus was in the Middle East. So, in the Middle East, when you have decomp cycles, the decomp cycles are actually accelerated to the dry air, humidity, heat, such and such, move on forward. Okay. Even in a cave, you now have wildlife and everything that's within the cave. Scorpions, bugs that do feed on dead bodies, especially like ants and stuff. Okay, we're putting that in another bucket. Now, you have the cellular decay cycle. When you die and you cannot be resuscitated, the first thing to go is called the basal lamina. So, when the basal lamina of the cell dies, it breaks down the walls of the cell and the cell dies. End of cell. Cool. So, if Jesus died and was put in a cave to decompose, here's the thing. He would have been in stage 2 to 3 decomp. The basal lamina would have been destroyed in his cells. He would have been turning to goop. There is no fucking way that you were going to sit there and get up from that and look like a normal person with holes in your hands unless you're a goddamn lich. No, it doesn't work that way. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk.
I was about to say thank you for coming to the TED Talk. Oh my god, Epichrist literally says, dude, I don't care what she's talking about. She's a forensic scientist. This is her field. You're talking about a dead person. This is literally her job. Someone who... This is the reason.
I went to school for this, my dude.
This is the reason. Epi, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares anymore. This is the reason why I pointed out the historicity thing. When experts in the field that you're trying to argue from disagree with you, you seem to think that you're smarter than the experts in that field. Neil, me and Aaron are not dating. Me and Raz are dating.
I'm not, no.
I assume that's what you meant when you said Cyrus has himself a smart lady. No, she is our house guest. That is it. Okay. So, when an expert in the field that you're trying to use to argue your point says that you're doing it wrong and you are wrong, why do you continue to think you're right? This is the... William Lane Craig. Everybody here familiar with William Lane Craig? H in the chat if you're familiar with William Lane Craig. G if you're not. I'm assuming most of my audience knows Billy Craig. I'm assuming this is a thing that most people know. Okay?
Smart. And now I am just the smart house guest.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So, one of the things that William Lane Craig has appealed to in the past is a theorem from physicist Dr. Alexander Vilenkin. It is called the Borde-Guth-Vilenkin theorem. This theorem he has tried to use repeatedly in apologetics arguments. Okay? Cool. That's in a bucket. We're going to do this bucket thing. We're going to make it easy. In fact, actually, we're going to make this super easy. We're going to... I'm going to make 100% certain... Forensic scientist. Oh my fucking god.
Person has a laughing emoji. It was just a joke.
Oh boy. Second best Bob Sirs. Thanks. I'm learning stuff, I think. Thank you. Mr. Rickman says, no context. Yeah, basically. Okay, cool. All right. Now, let's go with Alexander Valenkin on... There's a thing that happened during... I'm 100% certain that this is a thing that happened. On Lincoln. It's here. Oh, no, that's not the word I'm looking for. Okay, so I know I'm Googling rapidly. Aha. There we are. Yep. Okay. So if there's one thing that Sean Carroll pointed out, it is William Lane Craig's misuse of a theorem. So let's go ahead and... Can I make this brush bigger? Is that a thing I can do? Please? There we go. That's bigger. That's a big enough brush. 10 to 10. So, is William Lane Craig a physicist? No, he is not. He is an apologist. I'm not even going to say philosopher. He's an apologist. So, here's the thing that you're doing. And I'm trying to erase. I wish I could make this thing bigger. I probably can. I'm just really bad at this. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, cool. We have Craig over here, who is not a physicist. And we have Carroll over here, who is a physicist. And we have a theorem, which I will copy-paste, because holy shit. Aha. And we have a theorem called the Bortskouth-Lankum Singularity Theorem. Okay? Boom. Now, Craig wants to get us to first cause. He wants to get us to the first cause equals God. That's what he wants. Craig has said in many debates that the first cause equaling God is in fact what the theorem says. So Craig appeals to the theorem, right? Tries to appeal to the theorem in order to get us here. Here's the thing. The way that Craig says the theorem works is not the way that Carroll, who is a physicist and not an apologist, says it works. And in fact, during their debate, if memory serves, correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually got Dr. Franken to actually comment on William Lane Craig's use of the theorem, saying that it is incorrect. And he got that before he walked into the debate because he knew that's what he was going to do. So Craig is trying to go here to get here. Carroll goes, nuh-uh. That's not your theorem. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You're not a physicist. Which puts us here, where Craig wants to get us here. Carroll doesn't care where we go. We could go here. We could go here. We could go here. But this theorem does not take us here. Okay? What Epichrist is doing is he is trying to say that replace this with historical method, resurrection for God, Surus, Epichrist. In fact, actually, I can make that really easy. I can just... Boom. Nope. Boom. So we have Epi. We have Surus. We have historical method, science. And then we have Dead Guy Rise. This is what's happening here. So, Epi is trying to get us to say that a historical method, or science, or science's ability to talk about something, leads us to this. I, unlike Sean Carroll, am not a scientist. However, I do have a scientist on hand, and I do have a historian on hand. I am going, no, Epi. That is not how it works. We are left, as with William Lane Craig, with this. Me personally, I don't care where we go. If science proved tomorrow that dead people can rise from the grave, then I'd be right here with you, buddy. 110%. Very, very quickly, no questions asked. But we're not there. In fact, what we get... historical methods. Do we have history that shows the dead people rise from the grave? No. Science. Do we have science that says that dead people rise from the grave? No. So what we have here now is that any argument that would need to be used to say that a dead guy rises couldn't be the general arguments we use for everything else in existence. It would have to be a special argument for a dead guy rising. Which would be this word. Right here. It would be ad hoc. It would be this little word right here. The one that you seem to misappropriate for everything. My argument is illogical. No, the fuck it's not. You think that it's illogical, but trust me, it's not. If I can have a forensic scientist and a historian, which granted, I will grant you one thing, the historian has not responded. So I can't honestly evoke RJ yet. But regardless of that, I can at least say that the science, and I have somebody who actually is versed in that science on hand. If I have somebody who's versed in the science says that you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
I even explained why he couldn't get up.
Yeah, facts don't care about Epi's feelings, though.
I'm sorry, if you don't have a basal lamina, you don't have a cell.
No.
Because it's the basis of the cellular wall.
Yeah, but again, he doesn't. Epi doesn't know what he's talking about, which is usual. This is not news. This is not new to anybody. Anybody who's had any interactions with Epi can attest this is how things normally go.
I don't care about the science.
So you can evoke science and history when you need it. But when a scientist says you're wrong, I don't care, it's illogical. It's illogical. Okay, now. You're done. Sorry, Epi, you're done. I should talk to an atheistic philosopher, and he will say, look, we don't use philosophy to determine historicity. We don't use philosophy to determine science.
Oh my god.
Actually, I should get an atheistic philosopher? Okay, hold on. Give me 1 minute.
When have I used
Are you
science?
gonna call Steve?
Nope.
Oh.
Steve's not an atheist.
No, but he's...
I have a hard atheist philosopher on call, though. PhD. So...
When have I've never used science for historical methods.
Yeah, you don't use historical methods for history either.
Yeah, but you have moved your goalposts, like historical method, minimal facts.
Yeah.
Philosophy, prove history. Science says dead people can rise.
Like,
I'm pretty sure Epichrist has said that statement. In those,
So-
not those words, but...
So, it says that I need an atheistic philosopher. Okay, cool. I don't know if he's going to respond. He might, but if anybody here is familiar with Nicholas Lamar Soter, who did the debate with SJ recently, I actually can send him, and have just sent him a message, to see if possibly he would like to go over this video and see if anything I said was wrong. So if he responds now,
Historical
awesome.
methods does not equal science.
I never said that they equal science, Epi.
Nobody has said historical method.
The only thing Epi is an EpiPen to prevent people from actually... Like, if you could have an allergic reaction to facts, Epi would be the EpiPen to cure you from your allergic reaction to facts. Sorry.
I just... my god.
No. I have... I have sent Nicholas a message. If Nick responds, I will have him go over this video if he has the time to. If he's a busy guy, he might not. But if he does have the time to, then I'll see if he can go through. Philosophy is greater than historical methods? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No. No. Philosophy provides a bedrock for these things. It does not make it greater. Philosophy is used for determining a methodology which we use for history and we use for science. It does not make it greater. It does not make it a be-all, end-all. Literally, it's because you think that... Actually, it's funny because you think that, but you also don't seem to understand how philosophy works because you don't understand what a fucking ad hoc is, which is a simple concept. There's also philosophy of science. It does not make greater than. It literally determines a methodology. This is not... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. If you get an allergic reaction from Epicrise, maybe you need to use an EpiPen. Mr. Rickman in the chat. Epicrise is not dead. He was never alive. Oh, boy. I don't... There's a philosophy of mathematics, for fuck's sake. Yes! And math works on numbers, and numbers are either arbitrary or axioms. If memory serves. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong on that. That's probably a dumb statement. I shouldn't have said that. It's probably dumb. But just... like, history exists with or without philosophy. Historical methods that we use for determining historicity, don't exist without philosophy. You're right. Science wouldn't exist without philosophy. This is a correct statement. Nothing about this statement that I have just said is incorrect. How?
Modernist historians that says we can't know the past.
I don't give a shit.
But we can.
Your tu quo que doesn't mean shit to me. Your what about this? What about you? What about anything? It means nothing to me. It means nothing to anybody. Also, I see that Callan is in the chat. Callan is also a really good person. Ah, boy. I apologize, Callan. You have stepped into a dumpster fire. Just a bit of a dumpster fire. Oh, boy. You know, I think that the best thing... Like, I didn't expect this to turn into a conversation with Epi, but it did. And I'm kind of glad it did, because this is fun. But no, your method is wrong. Everything that you've said is wrong. And it's wonderful, and it's great, because I needed a reason to smile today. Like I woke up, I saw Raz, I got to smile. I ate a burger. It was not a good burger. I stopped smiling. I got on the stream, and I wanted to talk about something maybe somewhat serious. Then I got a troll, which made me smile a little bit, but no, you, Epi, you have made my day. By coming in and being essentially the punching bag. It has been fun. It has been absolutely hilarious. A whack-a-mole is fun. Miklah's method. Miklah's method is not... we're gonna do a thing. We gonna do a thing. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Cheryl Miklah? Is that who you're talking about? Mikula? Sherrick Mikula? Is that right? I'm barely seeing this person come up. That's fine, though. Pavlovka says, go get Zaxby's to save the day. I can't afford Zaxby's today. We have...
Donate to the food fund, please.
I mean, if somebody wants to donate via PayPal so we can eat, that'd be great. But no, I'm gonna just to show I'm not talking out the butt. Where is it? Until the 20th, which is when YouTube pays me. Okay, PayPal. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. I believe in you. Come on, PayPal. Don't even lie to me, PayPal. Don't lie and tell me that I don't have my fingerprint. This is my finger. Nobody took my finger. Oh my god. I was going to show PayPal, but it literally is just telling me that my fingerprint doesn't work. Which is weird, considering that it's my finger. It hasn't changed. It's also telling me my pin's incorrect, which is not right either. Like, I haven't changed fingers today.
Yes, that was a banana.
God damn it, Will. Bill. Fair. Okay, fine. We'll get Zaxby's. Fine. Like, I'm sitting here trying to open, but it's just like, hey, enter your PIN. Fine. No, I'll do it. This is the Cirrus clone. Yeah, I think Plushie Cirrus... Let's try that. Does Plushie Cirrus work? Just open up PayPal. Plushie Cirrus, do you... Nothing. What? Why? Not why do you? Apparently after rubbing Plushie Cirrus's fingers on, insofar as he has fingers, on my phone, it started working. It just started working randomly after that. I give up. I give up. I'm done. That said, Astral Frontier, he's Astral Frontier on my Discord. Bill Garrett in the chat did send money for Zaxby's. So I guess we are getting Zaxby's now. So thank you for that. The power of the Plushie Cirrus. Yeah, no, Plushie Cirrus power is real. It's because Plushie Cirrus is the real Cirrus. Fine. I guess I'm... Can confirm Plushie Cirrus is the real Cirrus. Just, okay, fine. You know what? You're right. You guys are right. You guys are right. I'm just going to have to carry the entire stream like this now. Oh, God. The pop filter is getting into my eye. Fine. Hold on. I can do this. There we go. We're doing the whole stream like this now. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a wonderful time. Now that I've devolved into this. This is where we are now. You guys are still talking in that chat. Huh. Popeless says Cirrus has been chuckied. Basically. Should I do an episode like this? Like not a live episode, but like an actual edited episode on my channel where Plushie Cirrus is talking throughout the entirety of the episode, and this is how I do the response?
Yes.
I feel like I should do that. I should really do that. That's a thing I should do. I mean, I'm not a great puppeteer, but I think I could be at least somewhat convincing.
Nothing but yeses from the chat, so...
Yeah, fair, I guess. Cirrus versus Cirsic. You know what you must do. I will do it. I'll do it. We'll do an edited episode where Plushie Cirrus is the avatar, and it's not just going to be a still image. It's going to be actual, like, this. Yeah? Yeah? We'll do that. We'll do it. That's the thing. Expect that. It's not going to be tomorrow's episode, because tomorrow's episode is going to be somewhat serious. But it will be an episode this week, probably. Hopefully.
Wait, there's a better idea.
What?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Talon says good, so no more fake Cirrus. Kitty says, no, wait, better idea. I need to know what the better idea is. I need to know.
Debate of the plushies. Everyone involved in a debate must have a plushie in their chairs / screen representing them.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
That requires everyone having a disastrously obnoxious preponderance for fan art like I do.
Everybody just has to have a plushie.
Whoop, whoop. There we go. Much better. Much better. It was getting very, very uncomfortable the way that I had this set up. So, just so you guys know, it's less bombastic now, but I think it'll be okay. Cirrus can debate fake Cirrus. See, I don't want to do that because, like, as much as I could, I would ultimately end up making this person like the Reductio version of me, where just everything is an extremely dumb version. I don't want to do that.
It doesn't have
Crystal Ignition says, does a pick of a plushie work? Oh, yeah, sure. That works. It'll work. Oh my god, Blush Cirrus is Strawman Cirrus. Let me just put a Strawman up. It's a Strawman. No, but to be fair, to be honest with you guys, doing Plush Cirrus actively hurts my arm. I'm not even lying with you. Like, this is painful. I need to practice because this is actively painful. Probably because I'm fat. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. Meat Cirrus versus Plushy Cirrus for channel dominance. I think Meat Cirrus would lose. I'm sorry. Meat Cirrus would definitely fail that. 110%. We need a tiny ocean plushie for Hammered Out. Ocean, if you're listening, we need to figure out how to make this happen. We need to do that. We need to do the thing. Do the thing. We can do it. Vladimir says, hold on. Vladimir says, what the fuck did I just walk into? You walked into madness. This is like, when streams devolve, this is where we go. This is where it goes. This is where we end. We're just, it's madness. That's all it is. I'm sorry. That's all. That's where we're at right now.
Huh.
Yeah, it's been approved. It's okay. No, I'm not. I had my fun. I'm done. Like, I'm sorry, but you lost. Your method is horrible. I can get people in the correct fields to demonstrate your method is horrible. Sorry, just deal with it.
You can reject his method, whatever. Or hers, the method, whatever.
I say you can't.
Accepted in any archaeology or anthropologic journal.
Is it? Is it not?
No, it's not.
Huh.
I just went through my sources. It's not an acceptable method.
Fair.
So it's not used in academia. It's used in apologetics.
Oh, so we have another ad hoc argument then. Excellent.
Which means
10 out of 10.
here's the thing. If you want to use that method, that's fine. The only place it's showing to be accepted is apologetic archaeological and anthropological journals. That's apologetics.
I wonder, Epichrist, can your arguments melt steel beams?
However, in actual anthropological and archaeological journals, it's not used at all.
Can you provide a link to that method in the chat, please?
Like, the only cases in which it's used in actual academia is when they're trying to place an anthropological find, and then once they've placed it, it is thrown out. And the minimal facts are based on current understood facts, such as, this fact shows that this person could be a Pict. Let's do some actual testing. Oh, they happen to be a Celt. Well, he's not a Pict.
He's spamming his Discord now.
If you link the Discord once more, you will not just get hidden. The message will not just be deleted, but you will be hidden from the channel. It'll be a lot like popping a pimple.
It got hidden.
That said, my arm hurts.
I have it pulled up. Discord, but I'm not joining it. Because
Ow.
I probably
Pain.
slaughter him down before. I probably just slaughter him in the mud.
Ow. So that's a workout. Doing the plush Cirrus thing is a workout. This is exercise. Yeah, I know. I need it. Have you seen my extra chin? There are many. No.
Oh, fake Cirrus is back.
Fake Cirrus is back. Cirrus is a nitwit. He's cotton all over himself, pulling the wool over his eyes, manufactured his arguments. Oh, boy. We have a link to historical method here. I wonder...
It doesn't mention color.
I wonder why. It's a lot like how in arguments for morality we don't use the crime and punishment model of morality, even though Jordan Peterson thinks that we do.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm sorry, Dostoevsky is not how we determine moral principles. I'm sorry. It's the same reason McClellan's novel will be used for historicity, but it's fine. It's okay. I've made a channel entirely about dealing with this crap, and now I'm wondering if I'm going to have an aneurysm.
It's like, if you get trying to walk, you don't actually need a wheelchair. There are people who believe that.
It's dumb stuff. I'll be honest. I wish that I had taken the YouTube route that Raziel is planning on taking, where it's going to be 2 channels. One is going to be talking about creepypastas, and the other one is going to be talking about conspiracy theories. Because guess what? The conspiracy crowd, you already know, is dumb. Like, the principle of charity doesn't even need to be applied in most cases. And with the creepypasta stuff, you're dealing with stuff that nobody's arguing is fact. I say that, but then the Slender stabbings happened. Usually people are not arguing that it's fact. I wish I had taken that route. That seems like the less brain bleed inducing one.
I mean, I have a gaming channel.
Yes, but I do as well.
Oh, I was not aware.
Yeah, no, I have a gaming channel. I just don't do enough on it. Just ignore me. Ignore me. I don't do gaming channel stuff. No, and I'm talking about the Raz because she's here and she's cute. Hello. I'm trying to flirt with you.
Does that mean I have to get up and move over there?
You don't have to come over here, but I'm trying to flirt with you. Because I like you, and you're cute.
I don't have pants on, so, I'm just going to use this rope.
Okay, that's fine. Robe is fine. Hello. Hello. How are you?
See, Nick, we've been agrees.
She learned from my anguish. Emmett says, I require my cute Raz. I need real Cirrus to flirt. I guess, are you dating me or are you dating plush Cirrus?
Both?
Wait, what? When? Since when? When did that become a thing? Oh my god.
Yeah, his Discord is called Christian Truth Through Apologetics.
That's fine. I'm being crushed. I'm being crushed. Oh, why are you doing it more? Help. Chat, I'm being attacked. No, it is... Ah! No! Too many people. I'm dying.
Oh, wow, my hair's still pink in the back.
Ow.
Well, we tried dyeing my hair. It is apparently still pink
I
in the back.
die slowly.
Show us on the plush you wear, Raz.
Give flesh. Give. Here.
And here.
I wasn't gonna say in the pee-pee. No. Okay, I'm being crushed. I wasn't aware that you were dating 3 people. Okay. I wish to live. Oh god, I'm dying. Okay, I need my headphones. They hide that I'm balding. Stop! Stop! This is madness. Oh boy.
Oh, Raz.
Ugh.
Apparently there's still pink in there.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm wearing a shirt, don't worry. It's just...
It's just a nude-colored shirt.
Yeah. See?
Emmett says she's also dating Plushy Cirrus.
Yeah.
Is anybody else that I'm not aware of dating Plushy Cirrus?
All of your fans.
Me.
No. Bad. It's bad. Stop. Emmett says Jeremy.
And me.
No, bad. Plushy Cirrus, run. It's chaos here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Are you bunny earring me?
Yeah.
Where the hell is my hammer? You know what? I'm...
Look
Why?
at the cheeks. Look at his cheeks.
Neil says, when will Raz's channel be up?
I might start the creepypasta one before we move into the house, but since the move into the house is a week away, I might just wait.
Like, to give you guys a perspective on... Okay, please stop. My back is starting to really hurt.
Okay, then I lean on your front.
Okay, no. I'm good. I do not need any more lean. Okay. God damn it.
I make you lean anyway.
Oh, I can't take my camera off anymore. It's screwed onto a tripod. I was going to pan the camera around to show you guys the problem with the recording situation in the house. To make it make sense, because we are not in the house yet, we are in an apartment still. My recording area is right next to the area that Raz uses for everything, which is right next to the area that Aaron uses for everything, which means that we literally have to flip coins on who can record and when. So most of us are just opting on not flipping those coins and just waiting until we move into the house for everybody to be able to do their recordings and stuff as they do. So, that's a thing. That all said, on the topic at hand, now that I can wheel back to it a little bit, and we've already done our thing. So, debates. Do you guys think that I should have them on my channel, specifically ones where I am present and I get a moderator in? There's already going to be one on the first, and I think that's probably going to be the litmus test for how the rest of them are going to go on my channel. So, if you guys think so. Crystal Ignition says there was a topic. There was at one point. At one point, there was. Ray the Fable says yes. Okay. That's a thing. It's a thing that I'm going to try at least once, and if it goes well, then we'll do it again. It'll be a thing. Zanjo says, I don't think it's exactly a good idea. I would like to hear why. I'm not saying that I disagree or agree, because right now I'm flipping the coin on it. I don't know. I know that I'm having one on the first, but I do not know if I'm going to have more outside of, like, normally when I do debates, I appear on Non Sequitur Show or I appear on Modern Day Debate. I don't know. But I'm willing to flip that coin. But Zanju, I would like to know what your thoughts are. Oh yeah, I forgot I did the debate with EOT as well. That was less a debate and more a discussion, but still, that was fun. Pure Ostension says polished, carved wooden Cirrus. I feel like some of the 3D animations you've done of my character look like polished, carved stuff. Scheduled weekly or bi-weekly? It would probably be scheduled at random. Like, honestly, it would be when I can schedule debates. I wouldn't want to put a set time where I'm like having to scramble. Oh boy, that's not a name that I wanted to come up there in the subscription feed. Oh well, can't really do much about that. But it's not something that I would want to actually control. When I do, Zanju says I can't go into depth right now. I'm listening at work. That's fine. If you can't go into depth in it right now, that's okay. But what I can say is that I think that depending on the topic, it could be fun. The debate that I'm going to be having on the first is whether or not we live in a young Earth or an old Earth, and it's going to be with an old friend of mine from back when I was in a young Earth creationist school. So I'm literally going to be dragging my past with me, which I think will be fun. I think it'll be fun. I'm not 100% certain how the debate's going to go. If I get creamed or not, we'll see. But giggity. But no, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. It shouldn't be that horrible. It should be fine. Doc Fearsome says, Craig, the what the hell? Yeah, no, that's a... Sometimes people decide that they want to be edgy, and they think that it's funny. And I'm sorry. Like, I used to think that too, but it's okay. It's okay. Everybody does the dumb every once in a while. Plushy Cirrus versus the skeptic community with avatars like Professor Stick. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Also, I need to do a thing real quick. because Pure Ostension is in the chat, and I need to check. Pure Ostension. Let me make sure that I'm not, like, grabbing anything on accident. Here we go. You upload fairly frequently, actually. Why does Pure Ostension only have 147 subscribers? Like, no. Bad. I'm posting him in the chat. No, please go subscribe to Pure Ostension. Please do. Anywho, where is it? If anybody remembers the Go Deeper thing. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this one at all. Called The Mind of Surus. Ostension, am I going to regret playing this Mind of Surus video? Is that a thing that I'm going to regret doing? Here, we'll watch along. Let's see if I'm gonna regret it. So we're gonna go window capture. Add new source. Dude. No, that's live chat. That's you guys. No, that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna regret this at all. Let's find out. Ostension says, probably I was drunk. Oh, this is an animation that Ostension made when they were drunk. Let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. We're just gonna... There we go. Nice and clean. Totally professional.
And then I'm gonna head to White Runner Rooney.
Totally professional. I'm confused. Is this what goes on in my head? And seriously, is this how my brain works? Is this what happens? I think I can see at least a few synaptic misfires. I don't know. This is your brain on Epichrist, everybody. Oh, are those little Surus dolls on the sides? Is that what that is? Y'all need Jesus. Okay. That was strange. That was they're all Surus. So that was literally just 1,000 Surus dolls. That took me a minute and a half to notice that. Jeegus. Okay. Is there an to make my confusion make sense, the first time that I ever saw fan art from Pure Ostension relating to my channel, it was this. I love how in the chat, just uh, Alex Kerger, why again did I stop doing drugs? It just it's silly. It's silly. I figured with everything, actually, Callan, it's been an intro on my channel before. I've used this one as an intro on my channel. I wanted to end on those because Ostension does some really awesome work, and it always makes me laugh. But with all that said, I will see you guys on the 1st for the debate on Young Earth Creationism. I will see you guys tomorrow with a video about the ACA, and on top of that, I hope I will see you guys for the rest of the week for other videos. If you guys have not checked out Pure Ascension's channel, please do so. They do a lot of really interesting things that might be better under the influence depending on who you are. But they were awesome. Crystal Edition says I've never had cracked, but why? Oh my god. You know, I will provide a link to their channel in the description below when I've got a second. So definitely go check them out. Hope you guys end up having a wonderful day. I know that today was interesting. Maybe not. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed the paint diagram. I can see why Vosh does that. That's a fun thing to do. All right.